bad measurement in Mobile. I've never been below 32. I've been close to 33 before at my junior day. So when I was down there, I even told the guy, I think he shorted me a little bit, and he said no. So move on. But I knew we'd get remeasured here, so I didn't worry about it.
Is that 32 mark? Do you feel like that's sort of the benchmark where teams say, okay, guard, center versus tackle, or?
Yeah, I think sometimes some teams look at numbers more than others. There's teams that told me I can play tackle. There's teams that told me I would play guard, and there's teams that told me I'd play just center, just because my arms. Some teams believe more in ability than numbers, so it all depends on the team.
Do you believe you can play before, even like in practice, or you haven't played any games at center? Right?
No, I've never played any games at center. Just after practice, snapping and down where I'm training at XPE, Art Keogh is going to teach me how to snap a little bit.
Do you believe you can play tackle?
Say that one more time.
Do you believe you can play tackle?
Yeah, I feel like I can play tackle. Everybody says those the Alabama front, all three of those guys probably get drafted in the first round. So if I can block those guys, why wouldn't I be able to block anybody?
Do you have a preference?
No, I don't have a preference. I want to play wherever I can help the team. Guard, center, tackle, doesn't matter.
Did that Bama game kind of help, put you on the map a little? I know you had obviously won a lot of awards and stuff before that, but did that kind of help raise your profile a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Conference USA is a great conference, and we have some good competition. But SEC is everybody's favorite conference, so if you can go compete well against them, kind of raises your stock a little bit.
Your ankle good to go? I know you tweaked it in the Senior Bowl, right?
Yeah, my ankle's fine.
So you're good to do everything?
Yes, sir. I'll do everything.
What are you most
get the impression that depending on what type of scheme an offense runs, that's going to dictate where you play in the NFL?
Yeah, scheme can definitely play a factor in where a team's going to play me. I've heard a lot that I'm more zone. Other teams are like, oh, he's more of a power scheme. Like I said to him before, it just all depends on the team.
What did you learn from Coach Brom and Western Kentucky to get you at this point right now?
Could you say that one more time?
What did you learn from Coach Brom and their staff and getting ready for this?
Yeah, I learned everything from Coach Brom and Coach Callaway and Coach Williams. They taught me more than just football, how to be a man, how to represent yourself, how to act in the public, and just how to be a leader and how to do everything by example.
Forrest, what do you remember from George Fant's 1 year with you guys, and how surprising was it to see him starting in the NFL?
He's a great athlete. Everybody always asks, like, oh, what do you remember about George Fant? Like, he was horrible. He's a great athlete. You can ask any of my teammates. He was a basketball player for 5 years. So great athlete, and if you're an athlete, you can be taught technique. So it was awesome, though. We're super proud of him down at Westwood.
What are you most eager to prove?
Did that just kind of give you that eagerness to get here and show people what you can do?
Yeah, I was upset, that I got sent home from the Senior Bowl because of my ankle. So I was excited to come here and run and compete. Obviously, we don't do one-on-ones or anything, so it's a little upsetting, but we'll be all right.
What are you most eager to prove to teams here at the Combine?
You said, what am I most?
What are you most eager to prove to teams here at the Combine?
I'm just eager to prove that I'm versatile and I'm athletic. Just looking forward to doing everything and showing everybody that I'm healthy.
Have you met with the Falcons yet?
Hold on one second.
What kind of response have you gotten from teams so far? A lot of teams interested?
You have informal and formal meetings with just about everybody, but so does everybody else here, so you can't really tell if the team's interested or not.
Yeah, have you met with the Falcons yet?
No, I have a formal with them tonight, but I've met with them informally.
What about the Giants?
No, ma'am, I haven't met with the Giants yet, just informal stuff.
Have you met formally with the Broncos?
I've talked to them, but I don't think anything formal.
You met formally with the Broncos yet?
No, sir.
Vikings?
Vikings, yeah.
Here?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of the throwback play at the bowl? Did you have a name for the play?
Yeah, it was called Tampa Bay, just, TB for throwback.
Okay. Did you run a lot in practice? Did you know it was coming?
We ran it once or twice in practice. And Coach Ellis, he was our play caller for the bowl game. He was our receivers coach originally. But he told me, he's like, as soon as we get within inside the 15 or the 20, I can't remember, he's like, I'm calling it.
So, a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
it
was.
You had clear skies there, right?
We've been running plays like that since I was there all 3 years. We just never ran them, so I was excited to finally run one.
Was that kind of a reward for everything you'd done up to that point, or how did that come about, do you think?
I think coaches just wanted to run something different. Yeah. So it was a blast. Any one of our offensive linemen could have ran it. They're all super athletic and just as good as I am.
You feel like you're one of the top guys here?
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of the top guys here. I wouldn't be here. My ability is what's got me here. I don't watch film on other offensive linemen, so I don't know if I'm the best guy. I don't know if I'm the 10th best guy. But obviously I'm here for a reason.
What makes you one of those top guys?
I just think because I'm versatile. Like I was telling somebody earlier, team seems a guard, center, tackle. So I think I'm versatile and athletic and have a decent skill set.
Do you watch film on NFL guys?
Yeah, I do watch some film on NFL guys. That's one thing Coach Brom and our staff always had on hand was tape from 3 or 4 NFL teams that they were close with. So,
Who's the guy that you like to watch?
I like to watch Ali Marpet, Zach Martin, Cody Whitehair from last year. Those guys all left tackles in school that kind of got bumped inside. So similar to what I've been hearing. So I'd like to watch them this past year.
Do you hope to stay outside because teams generally will pay tackles more than guards?
I don't care about the money. I want to play outside because that's where I'm comfortable. As I've played 50 games there or whatever it is. So that's where I'm most comfortable, but it doesn't matter. I just want to play football.
What should people expect from Taywan Taylor?
Did you say that one more
So
time?
what should people expect from Taywan Taylor here?
I think Taywan is definitely going to surprise some people. He is a freak athlete, and I don't want to hype him up, but he's a super good athlete and even better teammate. Great guy.
I know you were a little overlooked in the recruiting process in high school, but how did you get from Venice to Bowling Green? It's a little bit of a
Coach Taggart. He's a real slick talker. He's out at Oregon now, but I'm just kidding. I love Coach Taggart to death and that staff that recruited me. But Coach Taggart's from Bradenton, Florida, which is 25, 30 minutes from Venice, Florida, which is where I'm from. And I went up there and I hadn't seen leaves off the trees, and I can't remember how long. I'm from Florida. We don't really have seasons down there, and I just went up there and I felt like home. Felt like that's where God wanted me. And Coach Taggart made me feel like family, not just like a number.
Is there a part of you that thinks, man, why weren't schools, even USF or whatever, looking at you a little harder?
No, I don't really care. Everybody always asks, did you enjoy your college career? If you could go back and make the same decision, would you? And my answer is always yes. I got to do everything I wanted. I got to be a 4-year starter. I got to win conference championships, got to win bowl games, team captain. So I got to do everything I wanted. I made great friends. The teammates at Western are unbelievable.
Did you quit basketball in high school to concentrate on football? Or
Yeah, I was smaller, which is why I didn't get recruited by a lot of schools. I was only about 270 my senior year, but I had to quit playing basketball just because I lost so much weight. But I do love playing some basketball.
I hear you had quite the caloric diet to get the weight up.
The what?
Quite a caloric diet.
Yeah, I ate 6, 7, 8 times a day, so it was a ton. But I'm glad I did it.
Were you counting calories that whole time?
Yeah, my high school staff is unbelievable. Coach Peacock and Coach Damon and Coach Shannon, I know you guys don't know who they are, but they sat down with me at the end of my sophomore year and put together a plan on what I had to eat, when I had to eat it, and I just executed it. It was great.
What did that include? What kind of food?
It just, included everything my family would cook, three meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but in between that, just eating the peanut butter and jelly every other hour, muscle milk. I would go to the weight room, and Coach Peacock would have a refrigerator full of muscle milk for me, and I'd drink one of those in between classes. And just want to thank all my teachers for letting me leave real quick for 5 minutes and go get those. So.
Imagine you're pretty happy with your 34 reps.
Yeah, I'm happy with it, but I've done better in training, so I was a little disappointed, but 34 is still a good number.
What's the most you've done?
37. No, informal. I think I'll meet with them tonight. Formal tonight, I think, but I'm not positive.
What would you say to all the Hilltopper fans that are watching this right now about supporting you?
Obviously, over the past 4 years or 5 years that I was there, we love the support and we appreciate it. Just make sure that they show up to the games next year and support our new team. We got a new head coach, basically got a whole new staff, so they're gonna need all the support they can get. So go Tops. Anybody else?
What's the next progression for your team? What do you want to improve?
Well, it depends on where I'm playing. If I'm playing guard or tackle, the main thing is just going to be technique. No matter where I play, you can always get better at technique. You can always get better at finishing the play. So I'm just excited to see which O-line coach I end up with.
What's potentially a bigger transition, going from left side to right side, or going from tackle to guard and staying on the same side?
No, size doesn't really affect me too much. I played right guard and left guard at the Senior Bowl. I think I even played right tackle and left tackle. Size aren't too much of a difference. It's going from guard to tackle. It just happens so much faster inside. Tackle, you have 3 or 4 seconds before you even touch the guy. In guard, it's a split second after the ball snapped and he's there.
Sorry you didn't ask this before, but how important was it for you to get really good tape against LSU and Alabama coming from a smaller school?
It was important. I told somebody earlier, Conference USA, we have great competition, but SEC is everybody's favorite conference. So if you play well against those guys, they'll think you can compete with anybody.
Yeah, a lot of coaches and GMs have, and it's not your school specifically, but just overall, have established concerns about offensive linemen making the college to pro transition and spread offenses and blah, blah, blah. What's your response to that?
My offense, I give credit to my college coaches. We did everything under the sun. We spread it out. We ran power. We ran zone. We ran gap scheme. We've ran option before. We've thrown tackle screens. So we run absolutely everything. So I'll be prepared for whatever offense I end up in.
When you were in Mobile, did you get a chance to talk to the Bears at all?
I believe so. Just everything in Mobile is just informal, just in the lobby. So I didn't meet with the GM or anybody, just probably one of their scouts. Actually, yeah, I for sure did. I know one of the scouts really well. He knows one of our coaches. So.
You hoping for some tackle screens in the NFL?
I mean, I would love them. Scoring a touchdown was probably one of the highlights of my college career, but it doesn't happen too often, so I'm just happy with the one I had.
Which NFL guys, regardless of position, do you look at and hope to model your career after?
I was telling somebody earlier, I like Ali Marpet. I like Zach Martin, Cody Whitehair, all kind of similar story. Played tackle, got pumped inside, and they're doing really well at it.
Marpet, a good object lesson for you as far as coming from Hobart?
Yeah, obviously Hobart, he had a lot more to prove coming from a D2 or D3 school. So his story is incredible, way better than mine.
The Broncos are one of those teams with some zone, some gap. Does that make this notion of going into it does a lot of different things excite you and play in your hands because you've done everything so you get out?
Yeah, of course. If I can go into an offense that's real similar to mine, it just makes it easier. You don't have to learn as much; you just have to learn the new calls. So, same scheme, it's easy.
Forrest, what has this whole process been like for you?
It's been exciting. Some of our former teammates have been here last year, Dowdy and Higbee and Jack Doyle and guys before. I kind of reached out to some of those guys and figured out what to expect, and it's something I've been waiting for my whole life. So I'm just excited to be here and thankful.
When you first got to Bowling Green 5 years ago, did you envision being on the stage one day and getting the kind of attention that you are now?
I didn't envision the attention. I've never been one to really look at that, but I did envision being here. It's been one of my long-term goals. To go to the combine and be an All-American and kind of do that whole thing.
The months in between the season and the training, what sort of things have you specifically been trying to work on, things you've been trying to improve about yourself?
Well, before the Senior Bowl, that whole month of January was just basically position work and still trying to stay in football shape. We worked out and we ran 40s and stuff like that, but it was mostly position stuff. After the Senior Bowl, it just turns to all combine, vert, broad, 40s, so just learning technique on how to maximize your potential in that.
And throwing up 34 today, I heard you say 37, I guess, is your best. But
Yeah,
still
30.
pretty
Yeah,
satisfied with
36 or 37 is my best. I was happy with 34. I mean, we're up late, and we're getting up real early here, so I'm a little bit tired. But 34, I'm happy with.
Sorry, one more on George. You mentioned the athleticism, but what did you guys think when he came in? I mean, basketball guy, 50 year. What were you thinking when he joined the team?
Well, when he joined the team, obviously he was a basketball player. I think he only weighed 250 or so. Was still in basketball shape, and he looked good. He was an athlete. He was catching catches passes from our quarterback last year, Dowdy, real easily. They tried him on defense for a little bit. He was just an athlete. They didn't know where to put him, and then. But like I said, he was an athlete. And he had the talent, and then he went and trained at Ignition in Cincinnati and came back. I think 295 or 300 pounds. He had gained 50 pounds since the last time we saw him, and I think he still ran a 4.7. So we knew he was going to be successful. Somebody just had to give him a chance.
Were you asking for diet advice at that point? You were talking about trying to eat to gain weight. I mean, how does a guy do it like that?
Yeah, I have no idea. Once I was in college, my weight was pretty good for the most part. It was just in high school, but I have no idea how he gained 30 or 40 pounds, whatever he ended up gaining. So he had gained a little bit with us during the season, but then once he got up to Ignition, he really put on the weight.
I know it's just one of 32 teams. What would the chance to play alongside George on an offensive line?
It would be it'd be awesome. Me and George have been talking all week, and I met with our coaches, and it'd be a dream come true. I didn't get to play with him, at Western, necessarily. So it'd be nice, especially him playing, my old position. I'd love to play guard next to him.
Forrest, you mentioned Dowdy earlier. What stands out from your time with him at Western Kentucky, and what do you think of his prospects down the line?
What stands out is just our friendship. Him and the rest of our offensive line, Max Halpin and Darrell Williams, Dennis Edwards, and Brandon Ray. He just treated us like family, and so the friendship really stands out. A couple of us were in his wedding, so we miss him. But it's been great. Building that lifelong friendship is meaningful. His pro process has been. Not exactly what he expected, but anytime, everybody who ends up in the NFL is a star in college, so anytime you're not playing as much as you want to, it hurts, but it just pushes you to work harder. He's a hard worker, and I know he'll be a starter somewhere one day.
What were your biggest takeaways working with the Browns coaching staff this year?
Biggest takeaways were just learning their offense. I was only there for a day, unfortunately, but just learning their offense, and they're kind of similar to us. They're in some of the similar plays, but it's just different calls, which is the hardest thing. Everybody has different terminology.
You look at you and Taiwan, it's, you'll have a bunch of other guys get get invites to go to camps and stuff like that. How important is it you guys keep feeding players into the league, and you are developing yourself as more of a school that's producing NFL prospects?
I mean, it's great. Like I told somebody, I think I told Chad the other day. He asked me what it was like to be here, and I just said I'm just happy for how far Western's come. Those guys, 8 to 10 years ago when we transitioned from D1 AA to D1, they paid the real sacrifice, and going 0-12 and 1-10, and 1-11 and 2-10. Our hat goes off to them for sticking around. But it's important just to keep building the program, and you always want to be better. You never want to be complacent. So hopefully the new coaching staff can keep pushing those guys, and we'll have a couple more guys here next year.
Who are some guys in the current roster that you could see being here next year?
Being here next year, definitely Mike White. He's a great player. Hoping my man Leon Allen comes back and plays well. So I think that's just about it. Hopefully Brandon Ray, the guy I played next to for my whole 3 or 4 years there with him. So.
What do you think the offensive line is going to look like next year with you and Max and some of those veterans gone?
I think it'll be just fine. We had a good group of young guys who always worked hard, always did what was right. Tyler Camp could easily come in and play center. I haven't talked to him. I have no idea what they're going to do, so don't quote me on any of that. But Dennis was our backup center last year at right guard, so he could easily play center, and somebody else went to guard. Jimmy Sims and Nord both played tackle almost all year against good competition, so they'll be just fine. It'll be another strong point of WKU football.
If you put 1 or 2 blocks in your collegiate career you wanted to show to NFL teams, do you have a specific block or 2 that you just, this is the best I've done?
I think there's a couple blocks in the Alabama game that I was real proud of, but I can't just pick out 2, specifically.
Have you started to meet with teams?